Let me state for the record, Mr. Speaker, that Akbayan strongly opposes all efforts and attempts to revive the 32-year-old Bataan nuclear power plant. As much as this administration would like to admit, we have much to learn from other countries which have more advanced technologies.
In the first place, I think the congressman is mistaken when he says BNPP is 32 years old. BNPP has not been commissioned. The time for a nuclear plant, to say how old it is, starts from the day it is commissioned. For example, the previously 40 years old construction of the Watts Bar 2 owned by the Tennessee Valley Authority in the United States, 5 years ago was only 60% complete, unlike BNPP's 100% completion. They decided to commission it. And just last month, it achieved 100% power and it achieved commercial status. That is the day that its clock starts ticking. It was granted by the US NRC a 40-year operating life, which is the standard operating life granted to nuclear plants built in the 70s, 80s, up to the 90s. So there's no difference in the amount of time granted to Watts Bar 2 than to the previous nuclear plants in America, the 100 nuclear plants. After the 40-year initial operating license, Watts Bar 2 can apply for a 20-year operating life extension. That makes it 60 years. And after that first 20 years extension, can apply for a second 20-year operating life extension for a total lifetime of 80 years from the day it is commissioned. And so, when BNPP is commissioned, it will be on that day that BNPP becomes a brand new nuclear plant. As for us not having the technology, I beg to disagree from the good congressman because we have proven good decisions when BNPP was being ordered. The specifications demanded by Filipino engineers outclass the specifications that were demanded by the Japanese engineers when they built Fukushima. And in other industries, we have also proven our capability when given the chance. For example, our airline safety, our pilot safety, is at par with any other country in the world. In 1968, Japan Airlines pilot landed a perfectly fine DC-8 aircraft into San Francisco Bay. He missed the runway. That has never happened to a Filipino pilot.
In 2011, 8 German nuclear power plants were shut down following the Fukushima Daiichi incident in that same year. And despite Japan and Germany's renowned technological acumen and experience, they have begun shunning nuclear energy.
I beg to disagree with the congressman. Japan is trying to restart all its nuclear power plants for the simple reason that when they shut down all the nuclear plants in Japan, their import for coal and gas to replace the lost nuclear power amounted to $30 billion a year, causing Japan to have a balance of payment deficit. We all know that Japan doesn't have coal, doesn't have oil, doesn't have gas, and all of these things have to be imported. And so there alone, you can see the importance of nuclear power to Japan's economy and how hard its government is trying to to restart its nuclear power plants. Just a few days ago, the announcement was made that Kansai 1 will be operated in spite of the governor there, new governor, who campaigned on an anti-nuclear platform. As for the 8 nuclear plants that Germany shut down, It's a political decision. Ever since the early 2000s and late 1990s, the Green political party has become very powerful in Germany. And they are an anti-nuclear political affiliation. There is no chance for a tsunami to hit Germany, and there's no chance for an earthquake what hit Japan to hit Germany. And so there is no chance for a Fukushima type incident or event to happen in Germany, and yet these people are shutting down perfectly good nuclear power plants. What has happened? Over the last 10 years, the price of electricity in Germany has more than doubled. It is now the highest electricity price in the entire Europe. Instead of their CO2 emissions going down, which is the aim of Energiewende and all this green solar wind movement, it has been going up because Germany was now forced to build new coal plants to replace their nuclear plants. And so it's a little bit hypocritical for a green party to allow the rise of carbon dioxide, global warming gases, pollution, coal ash, only because they hate nuclear. If Germany wants to do the wrong thing, are we supposed to follow? There are examples of other countries in the world which are taking the complete opposite direction to Germany. A good example is Great Britain, which already tried solar and wind power, but has realized that there is no way that solar and wind, because of its intermittency, can meet the requirements of Great Britain, United Kingdom. And so just a month ago, they decided to go ahead with Hinkley Point C and the nuclear plants for the United Kingdom. So they will no longer invest in solar and wind, in new ones. They will just run the old ones. But now their money is going to go to building their nuclear industry because they recognize that it is the only solution for the cleanest, the cheapest, and the safest power.
Here's why, Mr. Speaker. First, the costs are high. Evidence suggests that the argument that nuclear energy is cheap has already been debunked. In fact, over the years, the cost of operating a nuclear power plant has gone up continuously because of the need to catch up with increasing safety regulations as required by international standards, among others.
How does the good congressman back up his claim that nuclear power is getting more expensive? On the contrary, it is getting much cheaper every year because new economies of scale are being found in countries like South Korea and China in the manufacturing of new nuclear power plants. If nuclear power was really more expensive, do you think that a country like the United Arab Emirates, an oil exporting country, would buy 1,400 megawatt nuclear power plants, which are being built right now as we speak, and the first one will run in early 2017. By the way, the people helping build these nuclear plants are thousands of Filipino workers and engineers. It doesn't jibe with what the good congressman is saying. In fact, the average price of nuclear power in America today is 3 US cents per kilowatt hour. That's less than 1 peso and 50 centavos per kilowatt hour. Coal today in the Philippines is 3 pesos and 50 centavos per kilowatt hour. There was a time it went up to 450 depending on the price of coal and the price of transportation by ocean freight of the coal from the country of origin into the Philippines because we have to import our coal. Imagine the Katas OFW, the foreign exchange that we will be squandering just to burn as fuel. Instead of using this scarce foreign exchange, yung pinaghirapan ng ating mga kamag-anak, as capital to build the infrastructure of our country, we're going to just be burning it up as fuel every year. If you ratio and proportion that to BNPP, that's like BNPP being able to save 500 million US dollars a year. Is that peanuts? Are we willing to spend $500 million more on just 620 megawatts every single year for the entire lifetime of the power plant, which is more than 40 or hanggang 50 years? I think that's a complete waste of money.